Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tavern. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, what's up, people?
Good.
We got Lee with us tonight.
We do.
Back.
Lee is
Dave
back.
is not here, so I am filling in
Dave
for the
is
Dave.
not right. Hey, by the way, Lee, I know we already talked about this, but you'll be with us next week doing our PGA preview, correct? As well.
Absolutely. Why not?
Okay, cool.
Not to
Just
put
want
you
to
on
make
the spot or anything like that.
sure. Yeah.
I'll either be on your screen or in your texting going, sending comments.
Yeah. Right.
We're bringing Lee straight. We're bringing the Shank and Duff show straight to your home.
Boom.
Boom.
All right.
Wait. 4.
All right. Well, what's everybody drinking tonight? I'll bet bottom dollar I know what Lee's drinking.
I have my, typical Do Zero, but
there we
in my
go.
awesome Desert Fox
Patriot
Patriot.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you, Scott.
Nice. Scott's such a good dude. I got a little Barstool transfusion tonight.
I got some Sazerac and some ginger ale.
Funny. Hey, Lee, look what else is sitting right here next to my computer.
Hey, cheers.
Hey.
Oh, what?
Oh!
Desert
Oh,
Fox.
Bradley.
There you go.
Bradley's drinking some spotted cow tonight. Dave would be happy.
Spotted cow's good.
Yeah.
I got and I also got my Acorn Hills.
You are repping tonight.
Quarter zip. Whoo! It is
Yep.
nice. I will tell you, this is comfortable and is an amazing material. And even
Sweet.
for you guys in the South, you can wear it all year round. So
it was 90 degrees here today. There is zero chance I'm putting a quarter zip
gosh,
on.
it was warm.
Yeah.
It was 75 here today, so I had it on. It was 50. It was 50 in the morning.
At 6:00 this morning here.
It was 50 here in the morning. The weather's been nuts here in Indiana. So, I mean, not as crazy as it was out in Iowa where Dave is. He got that hailstorm last night.
Yeah.
So, whew. But speaking of which, let's talk about last week on tour.
Yeah.
Steve, you got the winning pick. You didn't pick the winner.
No, but I was up there. Justin played all right. He played pretty steady. And then
I had Thagala. Thagala made the cut.
And then decided to move backwards over the weekend.
Yeah, that was fine.
He took moving day in reverse. Is what he did.
He did better than what Dave's pick did. So, who did not
Jordan
make the cut?
And will not be playing this week. Actually, I don't know if you saw that news that broke here just a little bit ago. He's got the problem with his wrist and will not be playing in his hometown event in the Nelson, where he played as an amateur multiple times.
And he loves this event, so you know it's serious when he's not playing in his home event.
Correct.
So,
wow. Yeah.
I mean, with that, we had you had JT at 14, I had Thagala at 56, and Dave had a miscut at 69, which puts our standings at Dave is at 31.8. You are at an average of 24.5, and I dropped back again to 19.3. I keep my lead though, which is the important part.
You do keep your lead.
So I get my first pick in the draft back because no one picked the winner this week.
Yeah, have you looked at the field? But let's recap.
Yeah, let's recap first.
Another elevated event. Great week. Obviously, it's a great golf course. And you're going to run into they're actually redoing the greens and the bunkers and the tee boxes to get ready for the PGA coming up in a couple years. Here's the thing with this golf course. Right. I mean, this golf course is it's an amazing track. Yeah, it's getting a lot of play. And not just from Webb Simpson living out there. But I think the challenge that I see with the golf course, I mean, it's such a hard golf course, but birdies can be made.
Let's say congratulations to Wyndham Clark. He won the wrong tournament. Like, he needs to win the Wyndham.
He did.
Just saying.
Correct.
Namesake and all.
We need to get him. He does need to win the Wyndham.
But I mean, he'll take the Wells.
I would take the Wells as a designated event 100% of the time. I think he won, almost $4 million this week.
3.6.
His highest payday up until this point was, I think, $500,000. So yeah, let's go.
Sure.
Sign me up.
You'll take it.
Sign me up. It really turned into a two-horse race. It turned into a two-horse race over the weekend.
But it didn't start that way.
No, it didn't. No, it was bunched up. A lot of guys hanging around, and then a couple guys went out and decided to shoot 63 and 64 and just go crazy. So it's funny when that happens.
And that's the fun part when you have 4 days of an event. You can have these days where someone just takes away with it, but it's more fun when two people are staying with each other.
Correct.
Like, they're fighting it out. But the field this week, the top of the field was a great range of players.
Mm-hmm.
So it made for an exciting event.
Correct. And when you look at, you look at the names up there with Wyndham Clark, but Xander Schauffele, Harris English, Terrell Hatton, Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott. Adam Scott has played a lot of golf this year, which is uncommon for him because he doesn't like to play that many events. And he is, like, outside of the FedEx Cup playoffs currently. He needed a top 5 this week just for points to move his way up. So
I think a lot of these players are now with these designated events. They're trying to play more because they got to get into some of these events, but they're trying to. There's more incentive now. That's, to be honest with you, there's more incentive with FedEx Cup points. There's more incentive with money.
Come on.
it's so it makes for these designated events have been phenomenal. Like, has there been one yet this year that we haven't said that was an awesome weekend?
No, there hasn't been one.
And some of them, we've only had one major this year, and it was awesome.
Here's the question,
these have been up there.
Do you ruin that next year by going to limited fields, no cuts?
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. Like,
it just
you've
kind of like you're chopping it in half.
And again, the idea of the rich getting richer on the PGA Tour, which you can say what you want. Are they following a live model? Are they not following a live model? What are they doing? But they're just trying to make money is all they're trying to do. And they're catering to their clientele and their members. It's catering. What's up, Rob?
I had to put that up there. So they're catering to that. This is where I think the PGA Tour is being too reactive to live, in the sense of that, they're not having cuts, and that's how Liv was kind of trying to play that. So they're going to have events that don't have cuts, which I think is the wrong reaction.
That part, I agree.
And I know we're going to get to it. We can have this conversation, but they look like they also followed the Wish version of the 17th hole at Waste Management. And this week they're doing kind of the same, and it looks almost identical to the Wish version of the 17th hole at Waste Management. I don't know. Like, I get a hard time with the idea that they have, if you're trying to get in, you're trying to run these things, and you're trying to grow your game. If Liv had done this at every one of their events, and we talked about this, if Liv does the stadium hole at every one of their events, great. That's kind of their shtick. Adding it at the Nelson in Texas, I'm a little confused.
It goes back to, you're the PGA Tour. You have a brand. You have everything that's there.
Established.
Yeah, it's exactly. Someone's trying to do something to differentiate themselves and be better than you in their mind. Don't change because they did something. Like, don't react immediately. See how it goes. See how these go. You have a good system going. Don't change it just because you think you have to.
Right.
Knee-jerk reactions don't work well.
Exactly.
No, not at all.
Exactly what I'm trying to say. That's perfect.
Not at all. So
it's just one of these things where it's like we said that with the Waste Management. That hole, the 16th hole, is perfect there. And
there.
for one event, I don't want to see it every week on the PGA Tour. Now, the
No.
Tour, I'd be okay with them having it every week and trying to do that.
And having it be their party hole.
Exactly. Like,
That's their thing.
That your
exactly.
thing. Because you're not established. You don't have that, like, classic, like, timeless history behind yourself, so you can do what you want. Don't mess up the great brand you have on the PGA Tour by trying to react. That's like an older sibling seeing their younger sibling do something cool, and they're like, "Oh, I got to now start doing that." When it's like, no, you're already established. Don't pander to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think the when we look back at Wells Fargo, it's always a good event. Ricky got his first win there. I think Rory got his first win there too, didn't he, on the PGA Tour? If I remember back correctly.
I don't know if his first win.
He's won there, and then he and
won
Ricky
there.
went. Yeah, funny. I read a comment online today. They were talking about the fact that Ricky, who had fallen off, like his career had, was moving backwards. His career is moving up. And they're all commenting that Rory's career is moving backwards. Now, Rory could come out next week and win the PGA, and everyone's like, he just hasn't played well. He hasn't played steady enough. He hasn't played typical Rory golf. Players are going to go through ups and downs. That's what's going to happen out there.
Well, and Rory was playing good at the end of last season, and the first sub season at the beginning, like he was playing well, and then all of a sudden, leading into the Masters, he started to go down a little bit. Played well
when he became the voice of the PGA Tour.
No, he's been when he became the voice of the PGA Tour, he was playing better. When it got to the Masters and he had to kind of be that voice plus try to win, like I told you, Steve, I said when you picked him, I said I think there's going to be too much pressure on him.
Yep.
With that, I think he just needed to step back. I hate to say it because I wish he would have played in it and he got fined for it. Not playing at Harbortown was probably a good move for him to step back, take that time, regroup, and then come back.
Correct.
I think that'll be good for him. And he's in a little bit of a slump, but unless he just bombs the rest of the season, Rory's not.
Yeah.
Rory.
No, and he's not going to bomb the rest of the season. We know that. No.
That's like saying John Rahm hasn't won every event.
Masters.
Yeah. It's only a few weeks ago.
Exactly.
Right.
There hasn't been much, and they're not playing in every single event. So, he's not going to win every single event, and he's not going to be in the top. But, I mean, I'm liking these players. Like we talked about Adam Scott playing more. I'm liking that Ricky Fowler is having a comeback because he did have a slump. Let's just call it what it was. Yeah. Gary Woodland's playing better. All these players. Fleetwood, another one.
I want to. Okay. Yeah, that's one guy I want to.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and until Tommy Fleetwood wins in America, he's this generation's Colin Montgomery.
I was waiting for it. I was like, let's see where you're going with this.
Yeah, until he can win in America, he's this generation's Colin Montgomery. Again, Colin should have won how many events in America on the regular PGA Tour? Multiple U.S. Opens. Tommy Fleetwood, win. Just like you have enough talent, win. What's
I know, it's like winning? Right there, just got to bust through.
He get him, hey, how you like? I mean, is it the Kevin Kisner theory of they pay a lot of money for 20th on the PGA Tour? What's he doing?
Hey, make a cut, I get paid.
Yeah, hey, I made the cut, I get paid.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be happy making the cut every week on the PGA Tour.
Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign me up. Yeah, right.
What do you do? I barely make the cut. I'd be happy with that job.
So let's move on
to Gilmore. Give me that big check.
Let's move on to this week. Texas.
AT&T.
The Byron Nelson. TPC Craig Ranch. And I think since they've moved this event from TPC Las Colinas, where the Champions Tour played a couple weeks ago. Since they moved this event from there, I kind of feel like it's had an identity crisis. Just the other event that's literally in the right next door, 2 weeks the week after the PGA, Colonial is a mainstay at Colonial. And then you look at, they've kind of bounced this event around. And at this point, like, where does it really fit in? Is it only there because, and it's funny because you look at Arnold's event is designated, Jack's event is designated, Tiger's event is designated. Byron Nelson's isn't.
I feel like it's kind of been like left behind in a sense. It's a great event.
And look at where it's falling in this year.
It's falling
a week after a designated event in a major. Yep. Like, which one you skipping? I can tell you which one I'm skipping.
Right, exactly.
Like, when you look at it that way, yeah, like, I'm not showing up to play the Nelson. I mean, when you look at the field, surprisingly, Scotty Scheffler's in the field this week.
Well,
I'm looking at the field now, and it looks just like
that's yours. That's your pick, by the way.
The field, looking at the field, looks like RBC before elevated. Just looking at the name.
Right. And it's I mean, you look at this field and you're like, and again, all of these guys that aren't.
It's a better field than we've had in the past non-designated events.
Correct. Because you have Scotty Scheffler.
Well, you have Scheffler, you have Day, you have Hatton, you have Spieth. Like, well, Spieth backed out now, but you had you have some. You don't have the top. Like, I feel like they're like peppering in the top 50.
Right.
And in these non-designated events, and so that's where events like this, if they don't get a designation in a few years, like if they're going to change designations year to year on what event's going to be there, if this doesn't get in that rotation,
right,
what's going to happen to it? And the fact that it's changed where it's played, like that's the one thing I like about a lot of events. Like the RBC Heritage has been played at Harbor Town. The Memorial, Muirfield.
Is that Jack's? Yeah.
You have these TPC, Deer Run has the John Deere.
Right.
And has had it for a few years. I think that has actually been played at other courses. But when they keep it at the same course, you create that kind of that local
yeah. Well, and they
brand.
had used TPC Craig Rance on the Corn Ferry Tour before they moved the PGA Tour there. So it wasn't like that. The course hadn't been used on tour before. They'd used it on the Corn Ferry Tour and had some events there. So great.
But you're not getting the same exposure on the Corn Ferry Tour event as you're getting on a PGA event. So like you create that sense of pride behind that, like those events and going to those events, that I think is an important part about that, like keeping them at the same places. I think it's a good thing to do.
Right.
It is tough. And it depends on the course, the members, and there's a whole bunch of things that happen there. But
right, exactly.
Right. So, Greg, we already know your pick. Since
going with Scotty.
Going with Scotty.
Going with Scotty. I have to. I got to go.
I'm going to take another guy in the field this week who also has a green jacket and lives around the corner here in Central Florida out at Keens Point, and that's Hideki.
Okay.
Dave is taking, wasn't Dave's pick because he texted
Jason
it into
Day.
us, was Jason Day. Yes.
And here's the thing. I am able to take Scotty Scheffler because my last time picking him was over a month ago.
Right, because we do have those rules. So
we do have rules in place.
Yes. So, Lee, who you picking this week?
Who you picking?
I'm going Jimmy Walker.
Dynamite. Nice, like it.
Just we're back kind of in his area, seeing how he played at Harbor Town. Dude, I want to see him.
Well, let's as we go off of Dynamite, let's.
Yeah.
I think it's time for happy hour. I think that's a good segue into happy hour. So. And before we bring our guest in, I'm going to put this video up to show everybody. Really excited. This is a video that I put on TikTok that's got like 87,000 views. It's a lot of fun. And the guys in the background, this was actually the week of the PGA show. And the guys in the background, where were we playing?
Yeah.
It's the first hole at Legends at Orange Lake, actually.
I thought it was. So.
Is there anywhere else?
It's we've got Todd Bishop from Dormy Workshop and everyone's favorite Scott from Desert Fox there. So here's the video.
He's got about 350 yards. He's going to use about a 9-iron here.
Crowd's going to go crazy.
Oh, he got all of that one.
So let's welcome to the tavern Brett from Shot Golf. Hey, Brett, how are you?
Brett? How's it going, guys? Good to be here.
Nice. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Of course.
It's we appreciate it. Brett, where are you? Are you in California? I know we've emailed back and forth. Are you?
Yeah, we're in California, Orange County, California.
Nice. Well, welcome to the tavern. What are you drinking tonight?
You know what? I came ill prepared.
You came ill prepared.
He came to the tavern thinking we would serve him. That's what it is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it. He's a guest. He gets served.
All right. Well, let's
Awesome,
start this off by. There we go. First things first. So, Brett, where did the idea of shocked balls come from?
Yeah, so it's kind of a cool story. It stems from my grandfather, my dad's dad. He was the one that got my dad into golf, who got me into golf. I mean, it was always kind of centered around our grandpa. But he was a golfer that if he wasn't playing well, it wasn't because he didn't practice. It wasn't because, he just had an off day. It's because his clubs weren't working. So he would go home and he would make new clubs. He had like 20 different varieties of putters. He had drivers that would beep, had sand in them, water. And I mean, he was a tinkerer. He made things. So he came up with this idea and basically made our golf ball probably 20 years ago. And for this whole time, it's basically just been a thing we've had, and we would take it out and we'd have fun with it on the golf course and, give some to friends and stuff. But it wasn't until about a year and a half ago that actually it was closer to 2 years ago now, myself and a few of our family members all lost jobs kind of right around the same time. So we got together and we just kind of started talking like, hey, what are you guys going to do? What's your next step? And my uncle actually brought up the idea, hey, what if we try to do something with Grandpa's golf ball? And we kind of thought about it a little bit and ended up going for it, got it patented and launched our business back in April. And within about a week and a half of us being open, we had a couple of videos on social media go like crazy viral, and it just launched us into the world of golf. And we've been going great ever since. So yeah, again, it was just kind of like an interesting timing thing, something that we've always had, and it just ended up coming into play at the right time. It's been awesome.
I have to tell you,
cool.
Brett, I played in a tournament last week down here at Celebration Golf Club, and they actually pranked one of the police officers. The police sponsored a hole, and they had the police officer hit one, and the video was making its rounds at the luncheon. So it was a lot of fun.
Of course. Awesome. We love to hear it.
That's awesome. Curious if you could divulge in it. How are the balls constructed?
So my response has to be that it's a secret family recipe. I can't get.
We like that answer.
That's a good answer. It's a good
family
answer.
business, family recipe. You don't share family recipes, but yeah, I mean we make all of our balls in house. My uncle actually had a warehouse in La Habra where we live in Orange County, and we ended up moving into that, and yeah, we make each ball by hand, package them all, ship them all. We kind of do everything as a family together, and it's been pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Obviously we've shown the video, but for our viewers who haven't used the golf ball yet, can you walk us through the process of how to use it and you know, the what goes on with it?
Sure. Yeah. So basically, when you hit our golf ball, it makes a really loud sound, which you saw in the video that you showed. So the easiest way to use it is you hit it yourself without telling your golfing buddies. So you don't say anything, you don't allude to anything. You just walk up to the tee box, tee it up, and hit it, and then it just scares the crap out of anybody that's on the tee box with you. That's the easiest way to do it. I mean, you're never expecting to hear that kind of sound on a tee box at a golf course, so you're almost guaranteed to catch them off guard unless they've seen our golf ball, unless they recognize it, unless they're looking for it. That's the easiest way. It's kind of harder to get someone to hit it themselves because it does have a red dot on it. So people are kind of suspicious. Oh, what's the dot? What do you do? So you kind of gotta be creative, which we love doing. Coming up with different lies on how to get people to hit it. Some of our favorites, you toss it to them and be like, oh, hit it on the red dot. It'll give you an extra 20 yards. We've had a couple people that have given the idea of, hey, I've got this new app. It tracks your swing speed and your spin and all that kind of stuff. Just hit the red dot. I've got the app open. And then instead of the app open, because there is no app, you've actually got your camera rolling and you're recording them hit the ball. So, just fun ways to be creative and get people to hit it. But regardless of who hits it, you're going to get some good reactions.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I mean, we're the golfing dads, so we're all about family. You're talking, this is a family business. Your grandfather created this. What's been the best part about being able to do this with your family?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. We've had a family business that's gone for a while. My grandpa, who made it, he had a racing company. It was Esslinger Engineering. They made racing parts and engines, and they ended up doing very well with it. So the family business aspect of it has been around our family, but this is the first time that I personally have been involved in it. But the timing of it, I think, is the coolest part of it. I mean, it literally just kind of came together at the perfect time for all of us that have been involved. And then just working with family in general has been fun. You show up to the office and you're in the office with your cousin and uncle, and my wife has a desk across from me, and we're at home just like shooting things back and forth. I do the marketing aspect and she runs our social media, so it's like we work hand in hand together. So yeah, just the dynamic of it has been cool, and then the timing of it has just been amazing for us.
That's awesome.
That is cool. You kind of alluded to a little bit. The question on how hard has it been to break into the golf business industry, especially with a one-time use product, to be a ball?
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, like I said, a couple weeks into it, social media kind of did it for us. But what we've learned, and we kind of, had some hesitations. How is it going to be accepted in the golfing community? Is there going to be a place for it? And it's just been so well received. I mean, we don't get very much negative feedback at all. We do get a lot of people that are like, "Oh, it only works one time. Oh, that sucks. Why does it only work one?" I'm like,
but the one time is amazing.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know what kind of magic you have to produce to make that ball do it every single time. But
how many times does a firecracker work?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
how many times does an exploding golf ball work? I mean, that's
exactly.
It's a one time.
Been the response that we've given is like, I don't know what you expect from this, but it's not a product that's going to go out and make your golf game outstanding. I mean, we're selling fun. We're selling a good time on the golf course. We're selling some laughs. I mean, it's like 1% of golfers shoot under par. So for the 99% of us that don't, and they're just having a good time with friends and family, I mean, it's perfect. And if you're shooting a good score, hit a shocked ball and let it go, and then go tee up your next one and keep having a good game. So, the single-use ball, we wish we could have the magic to make it work every time, but we don't. But it hasn't been hard. People understand.
So let me ask you, I know when we met at the PGA show this year, you were known as Mach 1, and you guys have just rebranded under the Shocked name very recently, actually. What's that process been like? Why'd you do it? And take us through that whole process.
Yeah, so when we went to the PGA show, a lot of why we went was just to kind of introduce our product. I mean, it was still very new. We had only been open for a few months, so we wanted to get some feedback on it. See how well it would be received. We thought maybe we would show up and people would be like, "Oh, get this out of here. Golf doesn't need this," type of thing. So we wanted to learn and get some feedback on our product, and then we also wanted to learn a little bit about the retail world, because everything we had done up until that point had just been sales on our website. But I mean, again, just the complete opposite. People just received it so well. I mean, everyone that stopped by the booth loved it. People were kind of looking for us to go see what was going on. But we did get a lot of feedback on our name, especially going into retail, to make sure that it was helping us. And what we found out was that a lot of people either couldn't read our Mach 1 name. It was kind of a running joke how many different things we got called when we were Mach 1. I mean, people would come up and be like, "Oh, machine golf balls. Oh, macho golf balls. Machone golf balls." Like someone called us Mackenzie golf balls. And it was just like, we were spending too much time like correcting people on that. And then a lot of people, even that did read Mach 1, didn't know what Mach 1 meant. So as much as it made sense to us and to other people, we found ourselves maybe explaining our name more than just letting our name be kind of what is explaining us. So we went through the process and came up with this new name of Shocked, and it kind of fits us well, and launched it back in, I think, mid-March is when we made the official switch over, and it's been great.
Nice. I mean, awesome. So you just talked about being at the PGA show and going there for like that understanding, seeing how you're received. So how was it received at the show and since then?
And you guys were at, just also as the three of us have all been to the show before, you were also at demo day, and people were able to hit the balls at demo day as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was kind of a full-on PGA show experience for you guys.
Oh, yeah. We went to that show head first. I mean, we wanted to get as much out of it as we can. Being from Orange County, going out to Florida, like, you got to make the trip worth it. And we loved the demo day. It was so fun.
Going from Orange County to Orange County.
Orange County,
yeah.
Orange
County. The other side of the country.
But yeah, so many people that stopped by and wanted to hear the ball, wanted to hit the ball themselves. I mean, again, the reception of it was just outstanding. I mean, more than what we could ever have dreamed of when we thought about, trying to do something with our grandpa's ball. We actually ended up winning an award at the show. We got best marketing. And again, a lot of that is just the ball itself. I mean, people see it, people hear it, and like they want it. They want to try it. They know exactly who they want to prank with it. I mean, it's been such a fun venture that like this thing just kind of it kind of grows on its own. It's been outstanding.
I'm going to say this. We really should have used one. We were up Masters Week. We were up with Lee, and we played at Paris Island on the military base.
Oh, that's where we should have used it.
You should have done it at PI.
They're so used to bombs.
I was about to say, yeah, at PI, they would have just been like, what that's normal.
Oh, training. You guys missed it. Usually on hole 12, that's where they got the crucible going. And there's usually, bombs going off, and it's just, combat golf. So
we would have hit that, and they would have been like, "Oh, I see your golf ball. I'm going to raise you an actual cannon."
Exactly. Retaliate with an M16.
Yeah, we would have been shot at like that.
Hey, follow up on that. 2024. Are we going to see you at that show?
Yeah, we do definitely have intentions of going back to the show again in 2024. We're awesome. Cooking up a couple new ideas that I think we can grab some attention with and kind of shake things up again. But yeah, we definitely have plans on getting back there in 2024.
Well, I will tell you, we'll be at the show, and we're already talking to them about doing our podcast from the show. So definitely, if you got some stuff coming up that you're going to launch at the show, we'd love to have you. We'll just go ahead and sharp you in for that one too. So,
sure.
Hey, so the question I have to ask is, obviously I had a lot of success with the post on TikTok. How many posts a day are you guys getting? Like what's your traffic like? All of a sudden you get tagged in another video. What's that like? Is it like a 15, 20, 150 a day? What's that like for you guys now?
I don't know. I don't know a specific number of posts that we get tagged in a day. We do get a lot of videos, and some of them are posting it themselves. Some of them are literally just sending it to us, like, "Oh, hey, check it out! Like, watch my video. Like, it was super funny." They want their video on our page, type of a thing, or people use it on their own. And like you saw, it's good content. I mean, it's such a unique product. There's nothing like it out there that it catches people's eyes regardless of what the intention of the video is. We've had a couple of like golf based social media influencers that have done stuff with our ball, and the video has done outstanding for them. We had one that posted, it got like almost 53 million views, and it's just because it's a new type of content rather than just normal golf content, and it's proven to be one of the most effective and best producing views for influencers that have used our ball in videos. So we love that aspect of it, so that we're not, if we were working with influencers like, hey, help us sell this like cookie batter. I mean, there's not much content you can get for that, but it's a cool product with good content for these influencers and stuff. So it's been fun to see it on a whole bunch of different pages. It's been fun.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I'm looking at your reels now on Instagram, just looking at the views and the contest being driven out there. So kudos to your wife for running that.
Oh yeah, no, awesome. She's done a great job with it. But yeah, we've got quite a few videos that have done really, really well, and we're continuing to pump out some good content.
Well, that's the great part about it, is it has that unique aspect. It's not something that's out on the market there. You've kind of like, you took that kind of pranking people on the golf course to kind of a new level out there. So if someone out there wants to find your golf ball, I know there's the website out there, but you've recently got into some retail locations too. Where can I get one? I mean, I got a scramble coming up on Friday that I kind of think I want to get this for. So
yeah, we're making a good push into retail. I want to say that within about 2.5 weeks of us being in the retail space, we were already in 12 different retail locations. A lot of these to start have been people that we met at the PGA show that saw our ball, and they were like, we need this in our pro shop, type of a thing. A couple of smaller golf stores, but I mean, the 12 locations that we're in span over like 11 states. And then we're working on getting into some like the bigger name golf stores that have, more broad locations and stuff. So right now it's mainly just some pro shops that have picked us up. But yeah, the intention is that we can make it as available as possible. Because like you guys kind of alluded to earlier, like if you're out on a golf course and you realize you don't have them in your bag, especially if you've tried them already, you're upset. It's like, oh my gosh, like I don't have one today. I can't use it. So it's definitely one of those items that, you're not going to hit 20 times in a round, but you definitely want to have at least that one in your round that you can have some fun with.
I want someone to buy them by mistake at like a Walmart and think they're regular golf balls, get to the first team, but like, what the hell?
Like
you break themselves unintentionally.
Duff's watching this. Whenever he says, throw me a ball, he's trying to put it on a tee. He's going to be looking at that from now on.
Yeah, you definitely are on your toes. When you're around someone that's done it before, you're kind of always eyeballing the golf ball, making sure they don't. Which we're working on coming out with a couple new ideas on, people that see that red dot now, they're like, oh, okay, I know what you're doing. So we're working on some ways to conceal that, hide it, keep it a little more conspicuous, so that you can continue to have fun even with people that have seen it before. I mean, like you said, I've been hitting it for 20 years with my family, and I'll still hit the deck if my brother sneaks one out on me. So it doesn't lose its fun.
That's awesome.
I want to buy someone like a
and that's the best thing there.
For Christmas and like put one in there.
That's perfect.
Awesome. Well, Brett, thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Excited to have you. Best of luck to you guys. We'll definitely see you in January again in Orlando when you make your way over to this Orange County. So,
of course, thank you guys for having me. We'll connect. I'll send you guys all out a sleeve so you guys can take out and keep having some fun out on the golf course.
Do you? Hey, so
Awesome.
when you send those out, do you have to like sign a waiver because you're sending out ammunition?
No, we don't, because it's
No.
not ammunition.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, what we do is definitely not classified as ammunition. It's not dangerous. I mean, when we went to the PGA show, we flew with like 500 sleeves or so with us, and it's no problem.
Nice.
So yeah, it's definitely not a dangerous thing or something you got to be careful with or anything like that.
Well, it's so funny
Awesome.
because I went through TSA with golf balls in my backpack one time, and just regular golf balls, they told me, will set off their sensors when your bag goes through for whatever is in a regular golf ball. So I just find that's just so funny. So your golf balls, no.
I believe it. We do tell our customers, if you are flying with them, they do have to go in checked baggage.
Yeah.
You can't bring them in carry on, but I mean, it's the same with like a large toothpaste. I mean, they're so strict with what can get on the plane and stuff. But yeah, you can definitely fly with them. You just gotta check them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Have a great week, and we look forward to us putting some more videos out there with them. Cheers.
For sure. Thank you guys.
Pleasure,
Thanks for
Brad.
having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett. See ya.
See ya.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
That was awesome.
It's an awesome product. It's one of those like that is just fun to have.
Right.
It's fun. It's not like you're not going out there and going like, oh, I got a Pro V1 and doing like you're going out there for that shock and awe. That's what it is.
That is right.
Definitely got to
So
make its appearance on this Chink and Duck show. So yeah.
Well, they're also apparently louder if you hit them with a Wedge FX wedge. Right?
Whack.
one of those. Speaking of shock and awe, it is that time. Greg, can you cue the intro for the ever popular Smack of the Week? So I almost made us the Smack of the Week. For those of you that don't know, last week we may or may not have shown a video.
I need to make my formal apology. For showing a video of someone else's content that I do apologize. I was trying to promote their content.
Yes.
It was not trying to do anything else than that, so I do apologize, PGA Tour. We still love you and respect you, so we did pull it down at your request.
Down. Yes. But no, this week's Smack of the Week.
The other day, and this happened.
That almost looks like the Top Golf here in Indiana.
What's funny about, I mean, obviously the funny part about it is we've all seen the videos online of people falling into the net, but we've never seen the fire department show up for that, and that was the best part of that. So
yeah, you couldn't get out.
You couldn't get out.
It's like being in a hammock.
And I can't get up.
It's probably like being in a hammock and stuck. And you're trying to get out, and but
no, it's
when you combine alcohol and levels of a driving range, what do you expect to happen?
Right.
And what Top Golf and Callaway Brands have for themselves there is you are bringing people that like I'm not going to Top Golf to work on my game. Like I'm going to Top Golf to have fun. Like I'm going to Top Golf just to hit golf balls and it's like a shot golf ball. It's out there for entertainment purposes. I have played in leagues out at Top Golf and they are fun, and then I'm playing that way. But I'm not going there unless I'm going there to get lessons. I'm not going there to I'm going there to have fun, hit targets, drink with my buddies.
Expectations.
Right. Yeah. How about this one? A shocked ball at Top Golf.
That'd be funny.
Definitely get you some attention.
But think about like you're in the bay, like how that would echo.
Echoing down the bay.
I want to see it actually. I think that would be funny as hell.
And then you just play it off like my golf ball exploded. Everyone's gonna try and make that happen.
Like the best thing to do would be like get a center bay and like a middle level, And like when the golf ball rolls out, like have one palmed in your hand, so you just kind of like put it on the tee, and then bang, like whoo,
Yeah,
everyone will be looking. Although you got to do it in the right place, because I mean, if you did it in certain places, everyone will probably hit the deck, or might pull out their firearms. So let's just,
right.
Let's call it. You got to make sure.
Deck.
Yeah. No, I was just kidding. It's a play.
Oh, that would be funny. That'd be a good time.
That would.
So. All right,
well,
time for last call.
Whew.
There has been an ongoing topic since really Augusta about slow play on the PGA Tour. And
that's probably where it really started again.
Yeah,
because it's been there was the topic before when a certain golfer who won't be named that's been dropped by Puma and Cobra.
Well, there was another one that. Oh wait, he's with him over on Live. Kevin, I mean, let's be real. Like, this has been an ongoing discussion. Slow play on the PGA Tour has been a discussion on the PGA Tour for quite some time.
Well, that's why Live only plays 3 days, is because they don't have enough time to play the 4th day.
There's that.
Someone had to say it. Come on.
The other thing that's been awfully quiet, realistically, since the Players' Championship, is we really haven't heard from Jay Monahan in the PGA Tour.
Is it true?
He has been very quiet. We haven't seen a lot of press conferences. He is gone since they made this big announcement at Bay Hill. And then you went to the Players and all of these things with the designated events and limited fields next year. He is gone sight unseen and stayed behind the scenes. And this week, he gave a press conference. Or he was on a podcast, actually. Let me see. What was it? I want to make sure we get it right. He was on Sirius XM radio. And he started with, the reality is when you've got field sizes of 144 or 156, our team does everything we can to make sure we're moving play along. But Monahan said there's a common misconception about the pace of play in golf. Moving play along doesn't always correlate to better business. In fact, sometimes fast play can have adverse consequences for the PGA Tour.
Which is true. And what I'm going to say to
airtime
is, you do need, like, there's a pace of play, and then there's slow play. Like, I play quick. Some other players don't play as quick. But then there's also, I'm over-analyzing this to the point of boredom.
And I understand that these guys are out there playing for millions of dollars. I mean, but this is their job. Like, the PGA Tour players don't come to our jobs and tell us how to do our jobs better.
No, well, I mean, we've worked in customer service, so we don't know they might.
They might have. You're right.
That's what we work in. So that's what our job is to deal with people that have complaints. But I will say that, like, when you looked at Harbor Town and you looked at Jordan and why am I blanking right now?
Fitzy playoff.
Fitzpatrick. When you looked at them reacting to Cantley, like, that's your peers telling you you're going too slow, not us.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the other thing, though. Are they ever out of position?
They were the last group.
But they will put the last group on the clock if they're out of position.
If they're falling behind, that's true.
If they're falling behind. So the rules official isn't care. And Jordan, of all people, has been notorious known as not the fastest player on tour.
Correct. Yep.
So back to my point, when you're not the fastest player on tour and you're now looking at someone being like, you're too slow, come on.
Right. Correct. So I think that the thing that I look at and I say, okay, so, and I've said this all along, they have to pay bills. Now, there's the other angle that a lot of people on social media have been saying, of complaining about PGA Tour coverage. And we all love the Masters coverage because you have limited commercial interruptions.
Because the Masters controls all of it.
Exactly.
Correct. And it's paid for and subsidized by their sponsors.
Yeah.
And what we spent in the merchandise tent.
Correct.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but the idea that the Masters, they can figure it out. When you look at what they have week in and week out now, though, it's pretty bad when you talk about, I mean, what do we get, 4 to 5 shots and then another commercial break? Like, are we seeing more commercials than we are golf shots?
You got to pay these high winnings somehow.
Well, correct. But, I mean, ESPN has figured it out on their ESPN Plus. Everybody's actually raving about the ESPN Plus coverage because there's no commercials on it. Every once in a while, ESPN will throw a thing up there if there's...
But the ESPN Plus, you pay for. It's a subscription service.
You pay for. It's a subscription service,
Yeah.
correct. Unless you have Verizon.
Watching it on Peacock, though, oh my god! It's like
And
you
you
said,
pay
every
for
couple
Peacock.
shots, you're hearing that commercial music. It's so annoying.
Yeah, and
ESPN has the same thing though, but they I like what a lot of sports have gone to, and especially I'm going to promote the Indy 500 that's coming up here in a few weeks, even though it's going to probably be blacked out in Indianapolis. Is you show it live and you show a commercial at the same time. And I like when the tour has done that too. Like, I can still watch them play because there's always stuff going on. And if there's a problem, that's true. But you can always watch them play and then have the commercial there too.
Right.
Like, there's ways to figure this out.
But even the playing through that they do on NBC, like, that to me has gotten to the point of being painful, because if somebody hits a good shot, you want to know what's going on, and they don't ever go back and show it again. Like,
that comes to how they broadcast in their booth.
Correct.
Like, that comes to the booth should go back and say, hey, let's replay this, let's go to that, and that's what that comes down to. But
I mean, I feel like the tour said the quiet part out loud. We don't care.
Yeah.
Because it's bad business if we do care.
I don't want the quiet part out loud. I think they just were honest.
Well, and the other part is that he said, we're in the entertainment business. We're on television. Look at the number of times we're finishing on time, if not early. And that's a frustration of mine, because we don't want people turning off CBS or NBC before the competition, before 6 o'clock.
So that is correct. And also, if you actually look at the NFL and the NBA, they are not registered as sports. They are registered as entertainment.
It's entertainment, correct.
Yep. And that's just because that's what it is. It's you're watching entertainment. We watch live sports for entertainment. They are not the world WWE in that sense of staged entertainment, but it is still entertainment. And that's why we can also talk about
NBA games being fixed and NFL games never mind.
There's some good documentaries on that, though.
There are.
I will tell you from someone, I have friends who are referees and stuff. It is tough to fix those games. Like, it is, as much as people say, oh, they wanted to do this and stuff, it is impossible to fully fix something because it is live. It is like, it's just like golf where you hit a shot. Like, we've all seen it this week because it's May the 4th be with you. Darth Vader, like, using the Force to make a ball go where he wants. You can't do that. So,
correct.
like, God,
I wish
stuff. It is entertainment, but it is also skill.
Correct. And I think the funny part, though, is, and I wish Dave was on here tonight because I really want to make fun of him. The University of Iowa is under investigation for a gambling problem currently. So yeah,
nice.
The new Big Ten commissioner is going to have to work with that one.
Well, there's also Alabama baseball. You didn't see what happened, did you, this week? The Alabama coach got fired. The Alabama baseball coach got fired because he was linked to a bet on his team to lose against LSU.
Not a good link.
By someone who placed the bet at the ballpark, at Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati. The first gambling site that was the first place outside of Las Vegas to have an official gambling area in a sports stadium.
Well, that's a lot of sports stadiums are going to that, like having those gambling sites, which I find funny because if you work for a sports team, you have to go through extensive non-gambling training.
Oh,
and
when I went to the Super Bowl as a guest of the NFL,
yeah,
we were in New Orleans and we were told because we were guests of the NFL, we couldn't go into Harrah's.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's
because we were guests of the NFL.
And that's it. I mean, I'm going to go to Pete Rose and all of that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's when you're gambling on your sport. Like, here's the thing: if you're gambling for yourself to win, I don't see a problem with that. I get why you don't want it to happen.
I do because especially in Pete Rose's case, he could control the outcome because could you suicide squeeze or could you, if you're playing the spread,
not the spread. If you were just saying to win. Okay. Not the spread.
Fair.
Because yes, that is point shaving. That's different. I'm
Yes.
saying if you should be able to. I mean, just bet that I'm going to win the game because you want to win the game.
You want to win, exactly.
Yeah. If you are,
you played to win the game. We played to win the game.
To win the game.
Yeah.
Like so, playoffs. When. Like, if you're betting just that, like, I could see that. But that's why they don't do this, because there's so many factors that you can control. And that was a good point you bring up, is with point shaving, with the spread in there, trying to control and manipulate things so that you can control that. That's why you cannot bet in these things. And if you have that, it's almost like insider trading. When you know what's going on, you can't make those bets because it's an unfair advantage.
All of our representatives are allowed to inside trade. What? Did I say that? Let's not go politics now.
I will say, I'm going to go there real quick. I will say, you should not be on a board that makes decisions about companies that you can also invest in.
Correct. Correct.
If we're going to have laws and stuff in other places, that's where it needs to be too, but that's just where that is. But I don't make those laws, so whatever. But that's the reasoning behind it. But we're getting off track here with that. It's an entertainment business, and this slow play it's helping the PGA in some points. But I go to, like, when I'm on the course and there's slow play out there, it bugs the heck out of me. Like,
it drives me crazy.
It's, you can play at a pace. You can play. I know people that are great golfers and can play really fast, and I know people that are great golfers and I don't want to play with because they play too damn slow.
Correct.
And vice versa. I know people that are crappy golfers that play super fast and crappy golfers that play like super slow, where it's to the point of you're gonna mess this shot up no matter how much you think about it. Like, you got to, like, don't
bother.
Like, just have fun. Just go out there and play your game. Don't. If you're slow, and here's the thing: if you're slow, I'm fine with you being slow, but let people play through. That's a big thing on it too. So, like, and you can't do that. Like, I mean, as much as I would love to see on the PGA Tour that, they're letting them play through. Yep, come on up. Like, just waving someone through on the PGA Tour would make my day. That's never going to happen.
We went out and played. I went out with a couple of guys that Greg. Lee, one of them. I went out with Steve and Dave yesterday, Greeny. And we went out and played, and we took Greeny's son and I took Luke, my youngest, with me. We went out, and it was the 5 of us on the course, and we let the kids play. We would go out.
You were like, a 5-some? Jesus.
Did they have their wedges?
Did your kids Luke did, yes. Luke's in his bag, don't worry. So we went out and played yesterday, and there was a foursome in front of us, husbands and wives. We caught up with them on 5. And on 11 at Orange Lake Reserve, we were playing the white tees. It was 334 to the middle, and I may or may not have hit driver to the front edge of the green and yelled 4 with them standing on it, and they finally let us play through.
Sometimes you need that wake-up call.
And Steve was like, and I don't condone hitting into people. And again, they're standing on the green. The hole's 335 yards. I hit driver down there.
Yeah. Well, and
that poor turtle.
The one thing the one thing that I always hate is when like you get to a group that like and they're like, oh, there's nowhere for you to go. Well, no, let me go in front of you, and then I'll go in front of that group. Like, let me do that. Like, you're not catching them, but I'm gonna catch them.
On a day where, let's say you get out at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and the golf course has 200 rounds that day, there's nowhere for that person to go.
There is, but here's the thing: if you're catching me every hole, I want you to go by me. Like, go catch that next group. Like, don't use that excuse of there's nowhere to go.
And the other excuse that I hate on the golf course is, well, we're playing on pace. Pace is determined by you.
Yeah.
If my pace is faster than you, and there's nobody in front of you, you're setting the pace for the rest of the golf course now.
And you're playing on an average pace. Like, you're not playing on, like, I'm playing faster. So just let me, there's nothing wrong with, like, I think there's this stigma out there that people think, like, oh, I let someone play through, so I'm playing bad. No. Just let someone play through, because there's times where I've had groups like wave me forward, and I'm like, no, go. I'm hitting like 5 golf balls. I'm out here just to hit around. Yep. I'm not going to bug you. Like, and that's fine.
There's also the idea that when you're with that guy, that when you go play through, that feels like they're rushed and hits bad shots, because that may or may not have happened yesterday, and I won't say who that happened to. It wasn't me.
That's always the thing. Like, you feel that like, oh, I got to rush through and go through this stuff. And it's like, yeah, so go that. And like, I always feel bad, and I hate to see this when, like, if I'm playing and someone skips a hole, because I hate skipping holes. I want to play every hole that I paid for.
Yep.
And I just want to play every hole because I want to play as much golf as possible. Like, I hate, not for myself, like, you want to skip a hole, go skip a hole, but I feel bad for you if you have to skip a hole. Like, I hate seeing that out there because people won't let them play through. Now, I also have seen people, and I mean, we saw it, I think, at PI, where they were really far behind us, and then all of a sudden they drove up and like skipped 3 holes, and I think they were just trying to make it so they could get home to their wife before she killed her.
They got a phone call.
Yeah, that was, I gotta go, boys.
Go to 18.
Yeah. But that's the slow play is not like if you're playing slow and you're taking your time, let people play through.
Yep.
It's that simple.
If you're just having a good time and you know it's going to be slow, let people go. Enjoy your time. Let them do their thing.
Exactly.
And I will say to those courses out there that, like, I hate when you get to the tee box and the ranger's like, we got a lot of tee times today. And I'm like, you can only fit so many people out here.
Correct.
Like,
correct.
Either if you're going to fit, here's the thing. If you're going to fit more people out there, lower the price for me.
Yep.
If I'm going to have that slow of a day, lower the price for me, because
there's zero chance. Well, and let's be real. Like, after COVID and the shock that the golf industry got from COVID, where everybody else,
which is great,
down, golf increased during COVID. There is zero chance, and we're seeing this more and more. More and more courses are keeping their rates up higher this time of year. And Greg, you live down here, so you understand. There's a course not too far from where I live. Not really that good of a course. They're still charging $59 to play golf.
Wow.
And that's the thing. Like, it's, if you're gonna charge, like, give me my value for my money. Like, if you're gonna charge me $50, you should be a decent course. In decent.
And can we also throw out there, and this may be a topic that we might want to hash around at some point during last call, but if you're going to punch your greens, can we just set like a max green fee at $25 for punch greens?
I mean, it has to. We all understand it has to be done. It helps the course, right. But also, I hate when it's a course like you're punching your greens, and I'm like, I've seen your greens. You need to tear them up and start over. Like, punching them is not going to make a difference.
Correct.
We've all played a course recently where it was like, your greens aren't punched, but it kind of putts like it is.
I wish it was punched.
Yeah, I wish it was punched. It might have helped. But that's tough out there. It's
slow play sometimes comes from golfers who can't check their ego at the door as they get older and move up one tee box. I would be honest with you.
Oh, that's a great point.
Right.
Oh, Mike, I love it. That's a great point. Is that play the tee box that's right for you. Because I have seen too many people, we've all seen it out there, where too many people are going like, I'm going to play the tips because I'm back here. Why the hell are you playing the tips?
And they're hitting their second shot from the Reds.
Yeah.
Right.
Will the guy on the ladies' tee box please move back? Will you let me hit my second shot? But that's a good point, is that like also like understand your game and know where you're playing from. There's no shame in playing up forward. Actually, to be honest, that's an actually good training thing right now that a lot of people are putting out there is play from the upper tees, because you can learn to score better and then move back.
Changes the game up. Changes
It
your
does.
game
Right.
up.
It does.
Like,
So you gotta lose that ego. You gotta lose that ego.
yes. And that is, I think, the hardest part about this game is that people are like, oh, nope, I paid my money. I'm playing the back tees. And we see it. And Lee, you get a lot of rain there, and I know you'll understand this. Greg, you lived here long enough to know, come the middle of summertime when it's cart path only every day because we're getting rain every afternoon and the golf ball's not going anywhere. I've even suggested to people, let's go play the ladies' tees on a day after it rained. Let's go play the forward tees. Tee it up all the way up front, and let's just go have some fun and hit some different shots that you don't normally hit. Oh, and with that rule, any hole that's drivable, you have to hit drive around.
That's true.
It changes the
like
course up. That way the course one doesn't get boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also like I was saying, you get that where it's like, okay, now I know how to hit from 100 yards in. Like that's your scoring yardage. From 100 yards, I can now hit the green. I'm hitting in. I'm not hitting a driver and then on a par 5 and I hit my driver, let's say I hit a 200-yard duff down the middle, and then I'm 300 yards out and I'm waiting for the green to clear.
Right.
You barely got it out there. What makes you think you're going to hit your next shot 300 yards?
You're not.
Exactly.
Like, come on, man. Lay up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it.
Yeah, no, I don't think that there's I honestly think that the slow play, here's the other problem, though. The slow play that comes from the fact that these guys watch these tour events where they go out and they're like, oh, well, he took this long to hit a golf ball. He's a tour player, so it's going to make me better if I take that long to hit a golf ball. You need to know yourself, too. You need to know yourself. And
true authentic swing.
And it's
swing
a routine.
your swing.
The one thing that the tour players do is they have a great routine for every shot that they hit. Every pre-shot routine is the same. It takes the same amount of time. It's very systematic out there because, again, that's their job. You have one job. You hit golf balls for a living.
When I play quick, I'm playing in a rhythm. Like it's that rhythm that's keeping me going. When you slow that rhythm down, so if you're playing against me and you want me to play worse, slow my game down. Because if you're slowing that rhythm down, I'm gonna play worse. It's just because then my brain turns on. I'm thinking too much, and like my body knows what to do. Turn the brain off.
Right. So, but no, I think the PGA Tour is. I mean, we can all sit here and armchair quarterback and play Monday morning quarterback on the PGA Tour and the slow play out there. But when they're not gonna.
Said they're not gonna do anything unless it gets like ridiculous and the players like that are affected by it put up a fuss.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be some kind of like, hey, you got to move along. Like you almost want that marshal out there just to be like rolls up in his car, be like, hey, the group behind you is like you're playing too slow. Like I want to see that guy out there on the tour, like just trying to move him along. That's it. Don't do anything about it. I mean, we've all played.
That's the conversation. That's the conversation that the rules official has. It says, "Hey, one more bad time around the clock." I mean, that's what that is. It's the same thing.
It's like any of the resort courses in Florida that they want to get a play out there, so they're not going to yell at anybody because they want them to come back. So you're going to have those rounds of 500 people out there that are it's going to be a 5-hour round today, boys.
Hey, I've only seen it happen once at Disney, and you and I have played a lot of golf at Disney, Greg. We probably can't count the number of times.
I wasn't going to call out a specific area. I was just saying resort.
But I saw it one time where they came out and actually moved somebody off the golf course.
Yeah.
And that's because the 11th hole at the Magnolia, there were 5 groups on there. There were 3 groups on the tee, a group in the fairway, and a group on the green.
Wow.
And I called the golf shop and said, and they wouldn't connect me. And I said, no, you need to connect me to the golf shop. I need somebody to come out here and move these people. And they actually sent somebody out, and they were like, no, you guys need to go. And it was older people playing the back tees, and they were hitting 12, the par 3 over the water. The guys were playing the back tees, hitting driver on that hole.
Okay, if you're playing a par 3 and the back tees and you're hitting driver, that's too far for you. And here's the
right.
thing. It has nothing to do with age, because like my dad walks the course every day and plays faster than most people I know. Like,
correct.
And like most people I know, I will say it goes back to Mike's statement. It is the people with the ego that think they have to play the wrong tees or think they have to overanalyze everything. Like, no, what we always say on here, know your game, play your game. My game is different from Steve's game and Lee's game and Dave's game. We all play together. We all play the same game, and we all have a fun time out there. But if Steve, if you and I were like, oh, we're going to play the tips today because we want to give ourselves more of a challenge, Lee and Dave are going to look at us and go, yeah, we're going to play up here. Just keep up. Like, that's what they're going to say to us. We'll keep up, but we're doing that because we can, and they're playing up there because they want to have more fun than we do. We want to get punched in the mouth.
If Dave ever said he wanted to play the back tees, do me a favor, let me just sit and caddy. I would do that for Dave.
We should have it. We should film Dave playing the back tees where we just are on course reporters the whole round. We just call the match.
Me and Duff, we actually talked about this the other day. Actually, just taking a card out and making that an episode of just commentating people playing.
We need to do that. We need the Shank and Duff show to comment on a match between me and Steve.
Oh God, yes, that'd be a blast.
I want that.
Like JT and Charles Barkley, it would be so much fun.
That's offensive to call Steve Charles Barkley. It's offensive to Charles. That's all I'm saying.
Sorry, Chuck.
All right. Well, another good show this week, guys. Lee, thank you for filling in for Dave.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you for Lee. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We'll see you again next week.
Cheers. Don't forget to tip your bartender.
Don't forget to tip your bartender. And I hope everybody has a great night, a great week, and look forward to seeing you next week at the Tavern.